Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your favorite astrologer, Astro Lexi, and we're here to look at what's going on with this ASAP Rocky case. ASAP Rocky has been found not guilty on these assault charges. So we're going to get into it. And before we start, make sure that you guys comment, like, subscribe. And if you want to book your own personal birth chart reading or transit reading, love reading, make sure that you link down in the description for all of that. So let's get into it. ASAP Rocky has been recently found not guilty, right? He has been in on trial for this weapons assault case against former friend ASAP Relly. ASAP Relly accused Rocky of firing a pistol at him, and the case went into motion in 2021, and they have been recently deliberating. Jury started in January, and the jury recently came to a verdict of a not guilty. No, not guilty. Okay. And there's just been a lot going on with this trial, with this case. It's been very, very publicized now that Rocky has cemented his life with Rihanna. They have two beautiful children, and his star power is rising, right? And it's been rising. He's a star in his right, but linking up with this superstar Rihanna has really just catapulted his stance in his status. And this came at an unfortunate beginning, because here is this person trying to just build this life with another person that they love, building their family, expanding on their family, and expanding in their career, and then they're hit with an assault charge, right? And what's so crazy is that he was charged with a felony, and this case was there could have been a potentiality for him to serve up to 2 decades if found guilty on this case. So now he is found not guilty. So now we are rejoicing, we are celebrating. Good for you, ASAP, and good for you, ASAP Rocky's legal team. Y'all were doing your big one. But I just wanted to look at the astrology and look at the transit readings, what was going on, what could have impacted this not guilty verdict. And yes, basically, what was going on, if you aren't aware of the story, there was a scuffle, a fight that ensued in 2021 between ASAP Rocky and ASAP Relly. Now, if you're not familiar with ASAP Rocky, he was a part of the ASAP mob. The two were mob members, crew members in this unit, and they were friends since high school. They were collaborators, all of the sorts. Very close. And this came at just an unexpected turn of event, because it turned into such a huge case that has resulted in so much. Um, but yeah, we're just gonna look into that, and just want to do a quick little drive by. There's just been so much going on. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, I hate this for Rihanna. I hate this. This is crazy." But this is just something you got to deal with. We got to deal with something like when you're with somebody, you have to just go through these events with them. Through thick and thin, right? And they're not married, but they are in matrimony of some sort because they have two kids. They've combined their lives together. They have combined their brands. They are one unit, right? And it's just unfortunate because they have two children, very, very young boys, and nobody wants to see their father go to jail. Nobody wants to see their partner in jail. Nobody wants to spend all these legal fees, spending time in court and going over documents, right? Especially when you're somebody that has just such a dynamic schedule. You have your own life, everything outside of this. So it was just a lot. It was a lot. But let's look into it. So ASAP Rocky is a Libra Sun. He has his moon in Cancer, which is crazy because I'm a Cancer moon. What's up, Cancer moon gang? Hey. He has his Mercury in Libra, Venus in Leo, Mars in Aries, Jupiter in Gemini, Saturn in Sag, Uranus in Sag, Neptune in Capricorn, Pluto in Scorpio, and North Node in Pisces. Now, what's so cool that I recognized is that he's having his North Node return, having his nodal return in Pisces. Okay. It's at the very, very early degrees of Pisces, while his North Node in Pisces is at the 12th degree, right? And this could even just denote times of like a spiritual ascension, spiritual development, coming back to like coming into yourself to have a checkpoint on where your soul's destiny is, where your soul guidance is. And it's it's kind of cute because Rihanna is a Pisces. You know what I'm saying? Like there was like some level of like faded connection between ASAP Rocky and Rihanna. And in a way, it's like she brought him to his destiny, right? To surrender to life, to engulf himself in his own spiritual nature, spiritual matters. Like, you know, becoming a parent is a very spiritual process in itself, like joining together, merging with another person, right? Because Venus is exalted in Pisces. It's the sign of like unconditional love for a partner, for a child, for oneself, for understanding the role that you have in this world. Um, so I thought that was cute. So he's having his nodal return. So that could have given him an even deepening layer of his purpose and what his spiritual ascension should be like. So it's like having this checkpoint come into a rebalancing of some sort, right? And but it's so interesting, right? Because it's crazy because there's been so many celebrities that have their North Node in Pisces. Think of Jay-Z, think of Diddy, and they're all going under this like transformation of some sort, right? Pisces rules over the 12th house. The 12th house is all about the self undoing. It's the house of spirituality. It's the house of hidden enemies, right? And with him coming into this case, it's like he had a hidden enemy, right? With ASAP Relly testifying in a court of law against him. And, you know, the 12th house can also deal with matters of like, hospitalization, incarceration, where you go to find solitude, to find rest, whether that looks like, literally being incarcerated, going into some sort of mental institution, right? It rules over the subconscious mind, going to a spiritual retreat, like you're just releasing yourself of your earthly attachments. So that, really coming close calls to like being incarcerated, him having this understanding like, this is so much bigger than me. I have a family to take care of. I have a woman to love. Like I have a family to take care of. I have to come into this newfound purpose of myself, right? So there could have been a lot of like beliefs shifting, expanding of beliefs, right? Secrets being revealed, um, and just coming into close calls, like it's crazy. But Mercury is currently in Pisces, and it's very, very close to that North Node. So Mercury is all about communication. It's the way that we speak, it's the way that we process information. So literally like speaking on his behalf for his freedom, right? Speaking on behalf of his newfound beliefs, speaking on behalf of for him, right? Coming into this newfound awareness. Like even this could be a very spiritual moment. This could be a moment where he got closer to God because he's like, wow, I have no control in this sense, right? The 12th house is about the release of control. It's when we are just surrendering to God, surrendering to our circumstances, surrendering to just our environments. And with Mercury there, that could be like speaking on these events, speaking on the circumstances, right? With the sun there, there's a illumination. The sun is bright; it shines light on whatever it touches, right? There could be like this an illumination of speech around discussing, around cooperating, um, based off of his freedom, right, or lack thereof. Um, Saturn's here. It's going to be a lot for him. We're going to have a bunch of placements coming into Pisces, I think in March. It's going to be a really jam-packed time, right on that North Node. I wish I had his time of birth so we could see exactly where, but this year is going to be a lot of that for him. Even just like coming into this newfound of like, oh my gosh, like, when we go through transitions, crazy transitions like this, he's like, oh, like I have to focus on this. Like it's going to give him a new revelation of his beliefs, his expansion, his found purpose, like a higher learning that he's come into, even, spirituality. Like I think we could definitely see him moving forward, like getting in touch with that more, spreading more of this knowledge, the coping mechanisms that he used to get through this time period, really investing that love and that, unconditional love for his family and for Rihanna. um what's so cool What's so funny though is that he has his Mars in Aries. Okay. Mars is at home in Aries. Mars is our aggression, right? Mars is the fighter planet, right? Mars is the god of war, right? It's this internal drive, this internal fire in our belly that keeps us pushing forward. It's giving us that why. It's giving us that motivation. It's giving us that purpose. Um but within Aries, it's so crazy because he went to trial for a firearm related case, right? Like Mars and Aries, that can be a very aggressive placement, like literally including firearms, weapons, weaponry, artillery of some sort. So the fact that this is coming up is so interesting. I'm sure that he could be definitely like very hot, very aggressive demeanor. Um, I mean, even the fact that, in the trial, Relly stated that he shot a pew pew at him, in the midst of a fight. And the testimony was saying that this was just a prop gun, or prop pew pew, sorry, a prop pew pew that he got from a music video to just kind of use as security, as extra precaution, based off of what was going on between the crew. There was tension in the crew, there was fighting. And he just wanted to protect himself. And he's like, hey, I'm gonna use this pew pew, this prop pew pew, to defend myself, right? Didn't want to harm anybody. I just wanted to like protect myself. Okay. Okay. um so the fact that this is even what's going on in the case is just so interesting. It's so funny. I mean, he even has that Venus in Leo. He can be very passionate, very hot. Right? There's these fire energies. It's all about going. It's about forward action. It's about passion. It's about motivation. It's about going after what you want, not waiting. It's about taking life by the balls. Like he can just be a very like, even though he's a Libra, he can be very just kind of he can be very cool tempered. But with that Mars and Aries, it's like he knows how to bring it. He knows how to bring it, when to bring it, and it's opposite his sun. So, he could even struggle or have struggled with like temper, um, anger management, um, possibly the utilization of weaponry, honestly. But what's so cool is that he has a Mars in Aries, and I think that, please correct me if I'm mistaken. I think that Rihanna has her Venus in Aries. So when we have a Mars in Aries, our Mars is it's our sexual drive, it's our motivation, it's our oomph, and Venus is our pleasure. Venus is our values. It's our, it's what we value in relationships. Like, people are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this! Like, I hate this for Rihanna." I'm not gonna lie. She's probably like, "Oh, like a little hood nigga, like this whole thing, like, oh my god, I have to fight for my man. I'm going to court. Like, this is crazy. I just love him so much. Like that passion just like fuels and ignites this love that you have for somebody. And for her, like, she's a very emotional. She's a Pisces. She has this fiery, Venusian side, this, sultry side to her. I'm sure she was like, oh my god, like I'm about to put it down on him, like free my man till it's backwards, like. And she also has a Aries moon, maybe an Aries rising. So the fact that they're like opposite polarities of the Venus and, I mean, the Libra and the Aries, it's like love and war, and there's no love without war. There's no peace without love. There's no, you know, um There's no love without tension. There's no love without the fight of it, fighting for your man, like fighting for the justice, fighting for your family. Like I bet this really just like pulled them closer together and was like, oh my God, like we're here, we're on this united front. Like, oh my God. Like her moon, like that's her emotional processing, that's her emotional center. Like I'm sure she was like, oh my God, I gotta fight for my family. This is literally my baby daddy. Like, are you serious? You think I'm about to sit here and just like, oh my God, twiddle my fingers? Like, no, I'm gonna fight for my man. I'm gonna fight for my man. Yeah, and this probably brought them together. And I'm sure she was a little hey, hey. So when you have a Mars Venus synastry with somebody, that can just be a very, very passionate, very all-consuming type of synastry. It's very sexually driven, very sexually um filled, right? Very passion filled energy. And he has that Venus and Leo. He like a pretty gal. He like a pretty ting on his arm. He wants to show off his love. He wants to show off his lady. Very passionate. Even there was video when the verdict first was finalized of the not guilty verdict, and he just like fell into her arms and like rushed at her. He wasn't scared of like trying to be tough and be a man. He was like, no, like this is my girl. Like I love y'all. Like, even his family was there. He has that Cancer moon. He really, really values family, appreciates the family unit that he has. Yeah, and I mean, Mars is in Cancer here. There could have this caused a lot of like tension in the home, and it's some friction in the home, friction of like, oh, I have to fight for my family, I have to fight for my freedom. Um, but what's so cool here is that he's having his Jupiter return, right? His Jupiter is in Gemini, and so Jupiter already signifies points in our chart that can showcase like expansiveness, right? Jupiter expands anything it touches. It can rule over the philosophies that shape our life. It can rule over luck. It can rule over abundance, maybe even like an overindulgence. But with him having his Jupiter return, it's like almost kind of like this extra added bit of luck, this extra added bit of abundance. And so that this could even impact the way that the courts sided with him and swayed their opinions of him, and what we're like, no, wait, like, no, we're gonna look at this case and we're gonna find everything that is accurate. We're gonna fight. We're gonna give our honest and our accurate findings, and it worked out in his favor, right? Jupiter return, that could be like in a very that can just kind of be like another expansive part, coming back into self, like coming into this newfound abundance, monetary abundance, even like with it being in Jupiter, ruled by Mercury, speaking on his behalf, that will help him, that will sway the jury's testimonies in his favor. So that looks really great for him. Let's look what else is going on. The moon's in Scorpio. Scorpio is all about like revealing what's under the surface, revealing secrets. So this coming out was like another indicator of that. Let's see what else. I mean, yeah, I mean, he has a lot of oppositions. There definitely was a fight, a real fight. Even with Jupiter here, there could have been like a fight with money, the expanding the money that was put into this court case, um, trying to like work on his behalf, even getting lawyers to really fight for his behalf. Um, Especially with Venus and Aries on that Mars, like having, these relationships, right? These people working on behalf, really being like, no, I'm gonna fight for you. Like I'm gonna put my all, we're gonna go for it, we're gonna go to bat, we're gonna wake up, we're gonna, like all of the like it's just like we're gonna work on your behalf. And this all could have came like full circle for him to like really realize, like really get into just understanding of like what really matters in his life, what really, like, oh my God, all this, like, I love you, right? Like when you are in conflict with somebody, it's like that's when the time that you're like, oh my gosh, I really care about this person. Oh my gosh, I love this person, right? So now moving forward, we can definitely see him like, I mean, I'm sure he's already a great father, but now he's like, no, I'm going to dedicate more. I'm going to sacrifice more. I'm going to, like, I'm just going to let you in more. I'm not going to, try to mess up what I have going on potentially with anything outside. Like, I'm going to fight for this family unit. And that's interesting. That's so interesting. So congrats to ASAP Rocky, congrats to Rihanna, congrats to everybody that was working on his behalf. Y'all did y'all thing. Um Venus is opposite his sun. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Opposition between like some relationships and his self and his ego. But y'all know, don't try to go to court against a Libra. They're gonna try to negotiate. And he even negotiated, right? He was presented a plea to take some jail time to just like completely like rid himself of the case. And he was like, no, I'm not gonna take it. I'm not gonna do a deal. I'm not gonna do a plea. I'm not doing anything. I know that I am guilty. Whoa, I know that I'm innocent and I'm going to plead innocence until proven guilty. And that's what he did. He didn't take any offers, he didn't take any deals. He was like, hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna take a risk. And it worked out in his favor. It really did work out in his favor. Let's see, what else do I see? The sun in Pisces opposite his Venus in Leo. Yeah. Yeah, there definitely could be more secrets coming out about some of the connections that he's been involved in, especially the entertainment industry, with it being in Leo. Um, do do do. North Node scoring that Saturn. Yeah, Saturn is all about restriction, it's discipline, right? This could even deal with like the law, courts, judicial system, right? Really like squaring off with his destiny of being like, hey, are you going to pay for, these crimes? Are you going to do the time? And, it worked out in his favor. It definitely worked out in his favor. Ooh, Lilith is right there in that Mercury, really like pleading that innocence, pleading his freedom, wanting freedom through these relationships, wanting to just completely leave like that part of him alone and like really step into, being this father, being this lover, being somebody that really takes his project seriously, like really expanding in his newfound career. Like I think he sits on some like executive chair for the Met Gala, if I'm not mistaken, like really taking fashion seriously, his projects. I think he's working on a project that's going to be released with um Denzel Washington, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is what I see, y'all. This is just going to be like a quick little drive by. Ooh, I said quick and it's almost 30 minutes. Oh my God. But yeah, this is what I see. Like, congrats to everybody. Thank you to everybody. Shoot, this was a good turnout for him. But ASAP, now, take that passion, take that aggression, and put it into your projects. Like what you've been doing, everything that you've been building, don't let it crumble because of aggression, because of impatience, because of a lack of self-control, right? Get into that Libra. Just be like, take the higher road, take the higher route. Okay, take the higher route. But yeah, you guys, this is really all I see. Let me know if I miss anything or you want me to specify any aspect or give you a further clarification of what I see. And yes, you guys, that's it. That's all from me. Yes, let me know if you guys have any additional questions or concerns in the comments down below. What do y'all feel about the case? Do you feel like there was some tampering going on? Do you feel like he really shot a real pew pew? What do you guys think down below? Please let me know. I love when you guys interact with me. It just makes me so happy. But yes, you guys, that's it. And make sure that you go into the comments if you want that birth chart reading. You want me to tear your birth chart up, okay? And that's it. Thank you guys so much. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Love yourself and love others. And yes, thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your time. Bye.